This is really, really serious. For Russia to welcome volunteers to fight in Ukraine means they are serious with this whole thing. I think some days back we heard something like that, but people say, "Oh, who do you think Russia as a country? Who do you think they are? You think they are just small countries that they will not be able to that who is a Ukraine that they will not be able to fight Ukraine that they want to go and get people because we heard that they are expecting some people from Syria that they woo them with say $300 to $400 or so, and people said, "Oh, who is a Ukraine that Russia will not go and be looking for people?" But now it's glaring. That is exactly what they want to do. They are welcoming volunteers to fight in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave the green light on Friday to bring in thousands of fighters from the Middle East, Middle East to fight against Ukraine. At a meeting of Russia's Security Council, Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said there were 16,000 volunteers in the Middle East who were ready to come to fight with Russia-backed forces in the breakaway Donbas region of eastern Ukraine, Reuters reports. If you see that there are these people who want of their own accord, not for money, to come to help the people living in Donbass, then we need to give them what they want and help them get to the conflict zone, Putin said. Shoigu also proposed that Western-made Javelin and Stinger missiles that were captured by the Russian army in Ukraine should be handed over to Donbas forces, US news reports. As to the delivery of arms, especially Western-made ones, which are falling into the hands of the Russian army. Of course, I support the possibility of giving this to the military units of the Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics, Putin said. Please do this, he told Shoigu. Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24th, soon after Putin recognized the breakaway territories as independent states in an action condemned internationally as illegal. Russia says its special military operation in Ukraine was a forced response to what it calls genocide by Ukraine against Russian speakers in the east of the country, a pretext rejected by Kiev and the West as baseless war propaganda. Shoigu said the Russian military planned to strengthen its western border after what he said was an increase in Western military units on Russia's border. They mean business. They mean business. His undoing will be rebellion from his own people. I suspect that that is US strategy. Sign that things are not going according to plan. Mr. Putin, please just withdraw and end the war. The Ukrainians are your kid brothers. Give peace a chance. There's a big problem. Instead of US, NATO, and UK call for roundtable peace talk, they are busy sending weapons and soldiers to Poland. This war will surely escalate and it will go beyond Ukraine. African countries and their presidents don't involve yourselves in this war. Yeah, they dare not. No war is will end in Ukraine. US and NATO are preparing ahead of escalation. They believe Russia will invade another European country. China is behind Russia, but their faith is wavering. They seem to be afraid of the momentum US and NATO is gathering to fight. They've studied the sanctions and it won't help China if they back Russia to the end. Also, Russia don't want to send more troops because they feel when US and NATO decide to fight Russia, they may not have enough troops to conquer US and NATO. Hence, they are seeking for international help to fight Russia for their military to remain in position. This war is going beyond Russia expectations. Well, your opinion, Russia will not back out. China is silently waiting for the war to escalate because it has a hidden agenda, which is replacing itself with USA as the world power. Power show is what they are fighting for. Where in the world you have been in the past year? So you are unaware of all the world efforts to prevent this. Yes, when they say, oh, instead of a UK, NATO, and all the rest to come out and make peace, but they are trying to blow everything out of proportion. So where have you been in the past? So you are unaware of the world efforts to prevent this. You are also unaware of all the efforts right now to stop this. You can't even achieve anything talking with an unreasonable people. Well, everything in this world is affected by time and chance. Above all, this is the hand of God. Why the world watch and take side? God final judgments will come before June between these two countries. Free citizenship, Russia for me, I go. Why wine oh Ukraine? You want to wipe them? Putting it seriously up to something bigger. Hope we remember the 65-kilometer long convoy outside Kiev just laying low. Now he's asking for volunteers to fight this war. Remember also that he put his nuclear deterrence on high alert, why NATO is pumping more troops in Poland and so on. I think the world is really preparing for a major war, and Putin doesn't even want to expand his armies before the big fight. This is obviously more than Ukraine. Putin is already in danger. It must end in a big shame. God is with Ukraine. Everybody sees this whole thing from different angles. Of course, people will take sides. You can't rule that out. People will take sides, and it depends on the divide that you are. Where Putin has made the biggest mistake in his life, thinking he can overrun Ukraine within hours, he forgot the God factor is a game changer. Note that Russia's statement welcoming volunteers to fight in Ukraine is not because it lacks manpower to fight. Not at all. It is because Ukraine has been inviting fighters from all over the world right from the beginning of this war. Therefore, if fighters from Europe and America can join the fight because of Ukraine president's invitation, then fighters from China, North Korea and Turkey can as well join Russian military. With this invitation, the slogan is "We are not alone in this war." Okay, oh. The comedian don't shock am. Well, clearly this is a sign of frustration. I thought Putin would defeat Ukraine in 2 days. The Ukraine are resolved. Putin should let them be. His claim to denazify Ukraine is a propaganda. Ukraine President Zelensky is not a Nazi but a Jew. How can Jews killed by Nazis during the Holocaust suddenly turn to Nazis? Why kill innocent people without any provocation? To show you have power or what? It depends on what he wants. I just even like this man in every aspect. In another news, Nigerians are preparing to help Ukraine fight against Russia. And let Ukraine fight their fight. That is what is affecting Chelsea now. I was supporting Ukraine before, but now that the UK are doing Chelsea anyhow, so you have to change your mind. So guys, that's just it. So let's hear your own opinion on this.